This is take number 3 for you, Melissa. I tried 2 of them last night and they just, I don't know, it wasn't working right. But a big part of that, I think, was because I hadn't had coffee. But as you can see, I do have my trusty Big B right here. So we'll try that again. Oh yeah, I finished my drawings. Anyways, or I didn't draw those with my coloring. So these have already been shuffled. I'm going to cut them and lay them out so you can see. Alright. Put those over there for now. So this covers you. This sums up your overall situation. So if you asked about something in particular, this sums up what you need to know about that. If you didn't ask about anything specific, then this is the main point that the universe is trying to convey to you. And here we have Queen of Winter. So your reading revolves around the idea of a woman who's been hurt a lot, but she's gained a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge through all of her painful experiences. She knows the ways of the world, so I guess this would be somebody who you would call like street smart. She might be a little bit cynical. She might be a little bit jaded because she has encountered a lot of pain, and it's hard for her to trust. So she doesn't let her heart carry her away anymore. She doesn't lead with her emotions or make decisions from an emotional perspective. She tries to lead her life cut off from any type of emotional influence, because to her, anytime she allows that a voice, it clouds her judgment, and she ends up hurt. So in order to protect herself, she is a little closed off. She may seem guarded. She might come off to others as an unfeeling, kind of bitchy person. She isn't. She does have feelings, but she has learned the hard way that those have no place in her decision-making process. So she is very logical. She has a strong sense of justice, of what's right and wrong. She's an honest person. She might be a bit blunt, but as the queen, you know, she is a more mature aspect of this, of these energies, and so she would be somebody who would be able to finesse, giving the truth, but tactfully. So she doesn't need anyone. She's very independent. She doesn't want to depend on anyone else outside of her. She's very smart, like I said. So if through experience, she's learned a lot of things. So anyways, that's what covers you. That may be you. If that isn't you, then the focus of this is a woman in your life who fits that description. Or it's just that you are encountering that aspect of yourself. What crosses you? So this is something that affects that, for better or for worse. We have the King of Autumn. You know, you had this one in one of your other readings, my attempt. And you can read the bottoms of these if you want. If that adds something to what you're getting out of this, then by all means. Maybe nothing I say resonates with you, but maybe if you look at it and you see something or read something that fits, go for it. So autumn is the material. These individuals are a bit more slow and methodical. Not slow like mentally. They take their time. They want to do things right. They're hard workers. They're dependable. They're responsible. They may care about material things. They would show their love by buying you things or feeding you. He has sound financial advice. He knows how to invest and where to apply his talents in order to make the most return. So this would be a man in your life who is affecting this woman. So this would be maybe somebody who is helping financially or giving some type of material comfort a practical man that wants to take care of you, at least in a, or whoever she is, or at least in a material way. He's not very impulsive or passionate, but he does have a good head on his shoulders, and he is a genuinely good guy. He is pretty mature. So there's that. At the foundation of this issue, this would possibly be something from the distant past. So like if this was a flower, its roots are right here. So this blossomed into this situation right here. Where that came from is the Six of Summer. I love this card. So this is, you know, sometimes when you think about the easy times when you were a kid, when you were just in love with the world and things were easy, and there was just sheer beauty and joy, nothing tainting that. You could just simply enjoy every moment, and everything was new to you, and it was fresh and exciting. You know, we used to blow bubbles and be content with that, and we played pretend, and we had our imaginations, and everything was funny, and everything was delightful before we had all these worries about being an adult. And where this comes from, so where this situation here comes from is kind of longing for, you see the look on her face, she's kind of daydreaming, you know, this comes from just remembering something good that used to be, something pure, something that touched you in a way that you haven't been touched in a long time, and I don't mean physically, but you just remember this feeling of just being happy for no reason, a time or an individual that brought you just pure, childlike, innocent joy. And this also can be a focus on children themselves. And so where this comes from, maybe wanting to provide that type of happiness for your children. Wanting to have your children not have to worry about adult worries, and wanting them to be able to enjoy their childhood without stressing, or without seeing you stress, or without tainting their innocent enjoyment of things by being exposed to adult problems. So wanting to preserve that innocence. And I feel like that would be more to do with your children. But like I said, you can decide for yourself what's behind you. So this would be your recent past as it affects this situation. Is the Emperor. So he ties in a lot with this guy right here. In your recent past, this would be like a major theme in your life, because it's a major arcana card. There would have been a man. Now this guy, he's not a bad guy. He's not necessarily a laid-back guy. He is very dominant. He may be what some might call controlling, but he really takes things seriously about running things. And so it doesn't mean that he's like a tyrant. He is the equal balance to the Empress, who's the mother of the tarot. He takes care of business. He's more like the disciplinarian. So he organizes things and he directs things, and he, like I said, might be a bit what someone would call controlling. He's definitely the alpha male, but his energy is needed. And so he would be the type, the Empress would take care of you by nurturing you. He would take care of you by providing structure and rules, and kind of, not to put it bluntly, like, you know, telling you what to do. That's how he feels is the best way to take care of somebody, is giving them answers, giving them solutions, telling them what to do, giving them a solution. And so in your recent past, you may have encountered a man who tried to show his care for you by giving you suggestions that may have come off as commands. He might have come off as if he may have come on a little too strong for your taste, or been a little bit too involved in your personal business, like trying to take charge and take the reins. But that was his way of trying to trying to assist you. So, and as you can see here, I always like to look at these because it'll give you like something that would stand out. So, here's the world. He's got, basically, he understands that you have to balance everything in harmony. So he does care, the balance of love and practicality. Okay, there has to be logic. And that's a lot what she has learned. She's very focused on logic. This is the reasonable thing to do. This is the sensible thing to do, but he's also got a good balance. He does have love and care, and he rules from a place of caring and for wanting the best for the people that he's ruling over, I guess, so to speak. So he might be a bit strict, but his intentions are pure. It's just trying to keep the balance of meeting our responsibilities and feeling and showing love. He just doesn't have time to completely be over here all the time because he's got to juggle a lot of different things and a lot of different aspects of life. So there's a good balance. He's a balanced and well-rounded individual. All right, your near future. So what's before you as it pertains to this situation? Well, upcharging the Prince of Spring. You may have, this could be a young man or even just a message that's coming to you very quickly, very rapidly, with a lot of momentum and energy. And it's just like, out of nowhere, you're blindsided by somebody just enthusiastically charging towards you, and they're just like on fire. And now this is a person that may be kind of impulsive, and it's the guy that's, madly in love with the one, but then a week later, just as suddenly, he's, on to the next, and almost like he forgot about the one before. He may throw himself enthusiastically into a project only to abandon it and get distracted by 6 other projects that are going at the same time and forgetting about those. So he's just kind of all over the place. But he's got a lot of fire, like a lot of optimism, a lot of motivation. He's got a lot of pep and a lot of go. He can be a little overwhelming sometimes, but he's also kind of like a shot of a wake up. This person will just light a fire and kick you, get you into gear, or just kind of brighten things up and inject your humdrum, boring, or emotionless life into enthusiasm. So right now, where you are as the Queen of Winter, and then we've got this added with, so we've got the mental and the having previously been wounded, so the protection and the logic, balanced by the responsibilities and the material things, so our mind and our surroundings, and all the rules and everything. But where's the fun? Where's the joy? Well, that's about to come. That's about to come and shake things up and add some bright color to your landscape that you may not have realized had grown rather dreary and cold. You made the decisions that you needed to because it seemed like the right thing to do, because you couldn't afford to take risks. You had to make sure to take care of your children. You wanted to make sure to provide for them, to make sure that they're taken care of. You want to make sure to make responsible choices and have your material needs met. And, you had this person over here that, while they care, also directing you in a more dry and logical, authoritarian direction. None of this has that excitement or joy or motivation. It's just duties. And that's okay, because we need to have that. But you can't forget that life isn't worth living if we don't feel alive. And this is something that's coming up on the horizon, just charging across your viewpoint unexpectedly, that suddenly reminds you what it's like to feel alive and vibrant. But be careful, because it could also take you off into kind of a reckless and exciting and exhilarating, but possibly irresponsible direction. So don't lose yourself. But certainly, welcome that enthusiasm into your life and let it charge you. just remember that this person may not have thought things out ahead of time. They may not be dependable. They may not be somebody who's meant to stay, but their presence will certainly be enjoyable while they are there. They're going to add their energy to possibly a project that you're working on, or inspire you to get creative again. They may bring back your inner vision, your creativity, and then they're going to be on to the next thing. So don't expect them to be forever. Now, this is somebody you can count on being stable and rooted and grounded. But this person, he's just coming for a purpose. That's to help you achieve something, help you reach a goal, and then his purpose will be over and he'll be somewhere else. What crowns you, the best thing that you have going for you in this situation, is the balance. And this is something you see here, how, he's got, or no, I'm sorry, this is not. That's the world. I got confused for a second. So the wheel is it's the wheel of fortune, which basically just means that, let's say you spun a wheel and it randomly just landed on some circumstance or some event, and it's just unconnected to anything that you've done. It's not like a logical next step. It doesn't come out of anywhere that you can figure out with your logic. It's just a chance occurrence, one of those twists of fate, one of those unexpected things. It could be good. It could land on, hey, jackpot, and all of a sudden, bam, hey, you win $1 million, that type of thing. You didn't see that coming. You didn't plan for it. And it's like, oh, wow, cool, good luck, a stroke of good luck. It could be something that just isn't necessarily, it's not reversed, so I would say it's probably not bad luck. This is just one of those things just happened to work out for you. You were in the right place at the right time. Something that you did for no explainable reason ended up resulting in something that was particularly fortunate. So you might, like I said, have a stroke of good luck, hit a gold mine, strike the jackpot, however you want to word that. So that's the best thing that you have going for you in this situation. That's not saying that has yet to happen. Maybe that has happened. Maybe something that you did turned things in your favor. There may have been a moment that you'll look back on, or maybe that you are looking back on right now, where you made one small decision that seemed insignificant at the time, but that you'll see was a complete blessing that turned things completely around, and that if it hadn't been for that one thing, you could have been in a completely different place. And so you kind of owe us some good fortune to some kind of chance occurrence. So that's a good thing. You, in this situation, sorry, my big old foot. The Nine of Autumn, and you had this one in one of the other readings I did for you too. So you are feeling, again, we've got autumn, which is the material side of things, finances, family, home, job, that kind of stuff you need. And so you might reach a place where you're feeling like you've got the things that you need, the material things, but it's hollow. It feels kind of empty. It's not what you want. It doesn't give this magic, this feeling here that you're going for, this joy. You can't find it in material objects. You can't find it in money. You can't find it in a job or a home. And while you are abundant and you have those things and you're grateful for them, you feel like there's something missing. What does it matter if you have all those things, if you have no one? What does stuff matter without human connection? And so on one hand, you feel blessed with material goods or fortunate in a practical way, and that may very well be because of this man's contributions, helping you out, possibly assisting you in that manner. And this person may be helping give a structure and some guidelines and rules that will help you keep things balanced and organized. And you deciding to cut off your emotions and just make responsible and logical decisions. So that's great. That will pay off. Or you feel, at least at this point, that it has paid off, but it's not, none of that is going to bring you to the place where you feel happy. Truly just innocently childlike, in love with life, happy. And that's where you are right now. But like I said, in the near future, that could very well change. So just something just very quickly happens, and very suddenly and very vibrantly. So, but this is where you are right now, feeling just like something is missing. And knowing that there's not anything or amount of money that you could accumulate that would make up for that in your environment as it pertains to this situation. You had this one before too. I deleted the other 2 videos, so they were half an hour each, and why spend time watching them? So in your environment, the different aspects of your life, even the things that you're not directly involved in but that indirectly affect you, are well balanced. And that definitely affects this situation. So like your role as a mother and your role as possibly a friend or an employee and a daughter, that all of those aspects of your life are in a state of harmony where they work together. So just like your diet will help give you the energy and the fuel that you need to do your exercise, and your exercise will help stoke the appetite for they work together. If everything's in harmony, it helps the other things work even better. So with all of the things, all of the aspects working well, they help the other aspects work even better than they could even just on their own. And so that also could have to do with like your friends or your family members that are around you or that are close to you, close enough to have an impact on your life, where your success contributes to their success. Your momentum and your moving forward does something that would allow for them to build off of your success and to create the necessary next step for you then to do something that, I guess I'm trying to come up with an example. Like if you have a friend that comes over and helps you clean your house, and then because your house is clean, somebody that's visiting compliments you on that. And I don't know, this is a stupid example, but basically it would be a situation where somebody may have done something for you, and that allowed you to be in a position where you were able to do something for that benefited somebody else, and everybody kind of working together to better themselves, but at the same time bettering each other. And that's in your environment. So, and that also could indicate that, that balance of the energies, as we can see, we've got the earth energy from this guy, and we've got, this is kind of a balanced person, but, and we've got the fire from this guy. We've got this is air from you. So there's somebody in your environment, everybody has something to contribute that keeps you in a state of balance. There's something that you can get from every person that will benefit you in a different way, but all of those not any of those benefits on their own are enough to sustain you, but put together, it provides a complete whole. So the gifts that everybody around you has to lend and to contribute, put together, makes a complete answer. So let's say you get advice from everybody that you come into contact with. If you just follow one person's advice, it's not going to get you where you want to go. But if you put all of that together and collaborate it into one cohesive message, that is going to be, that's going to be the correct, I can't think of the way to word that, but there's no one person that's going to be the complete solution, but all of the people together and all of their gifts and contributions put together is the whole. So it's not about who to go to, it's what to get from every person that's available that you can go to. Your hopes or fears as it pertains to this situation. We have another 9. We had a 9 here. 9s are completion, but it's not quite complete. It's not complete to the point where you're ready to move on to the next level, to level up, to roll into the next phase. You're not ready to continue moving forward, but there really isn't anything left to do here. So this is kind of that place after having accomplished something and completed something where it's like there's not really any immediate goal in life. You haven't really thought, now what? And you're kind of like, treading water, stagnant. It's a good thing, especially with this. I mean, this is a beautiful card. This is the wish card. So this is complete joy and complete happiness. But once you reach that, now what? And that's okay. It's okay to just relax in that and to feel that joy for a while before you figure out what your next step is and what new project you're going to start now that you finish this one. But since this would be a hope or a fear, I would say that this would be a hope that one of your dearest wishes would come true, that your heart's desire, your one wish, your one hope, your one thing that you long and yearn the most for, that your dreams would come true. Just like Cinderella, when she got to go to the ball and she got her beautiful dress. That was an example of a situation that would be the 9 of summer. She didn't expect that to happen, and that has to do with this fortune thing. Just something just happened, and there's nothing that she did that directly resulted in that. And that's what you're hoping for. Maybe somehow, some way, because you look at all the situations and all the ways that you could work it and all the paths you could take, and you just don't see how you could get there. But you're hoping that somehow, some way, that miraculously your wish would come true. And this would be a wish pertaining to not stuff. It's not to do with something or having to have money or even like, it's just that emotional completeness, that emotional satisfaction. This kind of right here, that's all you want, just pure happiness, to be content with yourself and with life and to feel your heart full again. But it's going to be kind of hard to get there if you're in this phase right here, because while she is useful to be in that aspect to get things done, sometimes if we stay there, we can become a bit cold and unfeeling. So we have to take risks and become vulnerable to be able to open ourselves to let love in, to open our heart, to allow love to come in, and to allow those feelings of joy and happiness to permeate us. We do have to open ourselves up for risk. We can't open ourselves up to joy without also opening ourselves up to the possibility of pain, and that's just a necessity. There's no way around that. But yes, so you're hoping for your dreams to come true. All right, this is the final card. This would be the possible outcome if you continue on the current path. And I've already told you a million times that, if you don't like that, or if it sounds like it's heading in a place you don't want to go, just remain conscious of your decisions and guide them in a way that will result in the type of life that you would like to create. So it's funny that I said that, because this is the Magician. This is that point at which you become aware of the fact that your life doesn't happen by chance, that you're not a victim of your circumstances. Things don't just happen. Things that happen are a direct result of actions that you have taken. And once you understand that, it's like you have tapped into this source of magic. You realize that you are the architect of your destiny. You understand that you've got this huge power and this huge ability to make things happen. You can see that if you take this action, you'll have this result in your life. If you want this result in your life, then you start figuring out, well, what action do I need to take that will create this down the road? You're paying attention. You're paying attention to the effects of the choices that you make and the actions that you take and where they take you. And you're becoming wise, and you're studying this like a scientist, mixing chemicals together. And you're going to start to understand exactly what it is that you need to do to get yourself where you want to go. And that's a very freeing feeling, to understand that nobody's in charge of where your life goes except for you. And if you don't like where it is, then you can start heading down a different path. You can take it in a different direction. You are steering the chariot. You are riding the horse. It goes where you will it to go. So there's never any being trapped. There's never any being stuck. There's never any, well, living this unsatisfying life that I'm stuck with and I can't change. Nobody can change it but you. And once you awaken to the power and the ability that you have within yourself to shape your future and your life, then you'll realize that you can make your wishes come true. You can bring about this happiness. You don't have to sit and wait for something to happen. You have the ability to make it happen. And that may seem hard to believe, but things don't just happen by chance. I mean, yes, there are things that happen by chance that help move things along, but largely our lives are just a collection of the results of the things that we've done. My life today is a result of the things I did yesterday. My life tomorrow is a result of the things that I do today. And so while there will be some assistance from a chance occurrence, a lot of what's going to bring you to where you want to be is just going to be your own awareness and conscious decision-making process. And you maybe, if this person has recently made you feel like they're trying to take control or grab the steering wheel, and you don't like where their direction has led you, then you can just say, hey, guess what? Give me the steering wheel. This is my car. You can sit in the passenger seat. You can navigate if you want to. I don't have to listen to you, though. I'm going to take full responsibility for my own life, because then I've got no one else to blame or no one else to credit if it ends up in a place I don't want it to. So that is the conclusion. I do feel quite a bit better about this reading than I did about the two yesterday, although I will say that there was similar cards. It's just I wasn't necessarily tapping. I don't know. I guess I wasn't feeling confident because I didn't have any coffee. So hopefully that meant something to you. And I'm going to go ahead and upload this, and it's going to probably take an entire day, but I will send you a link as soon as it's uploaded. All right, see you later. Bye.